said for Guild, they've been on that warpath ever since they were sent to the lower bracket. Well, that's one hell of a start.
Here.
Navi
Here.
found themselves 2 kills.
That's what you want to see right away, answering us back.
Here.
Finding those frags and setting themselves up now to play a much slower round on the defense. No need for them to go doing anything crazy. The numbers thinned out enough. Now that turret is going to either get pulled back or shut down pretty quickly. It's whether Sephia is going to be able to hear that information when that eventually comes to pass. Either way, they've spotted Ness making her way in through this tunnel. Ritha has a recon, and it looks to make its way in.
Standing ahead.
Just confirmed they're both there, even still. All eyes on this spot.
It would have to be a pretty big mistake to let this one slip away, especially with the crossfire that they have. Roxy, though, has managed to find one. Slowly being surrounded, and yeah, they're going to swing her all at once. Nice work from Navi.
Into the second round. And Guild are putting nothing into it, just a couple of upgraded pistols, a handful of hopes for Guild. For the most part, they're going to be conceding this one, and right away, that headhunter is dealt with.
Klaudia's still with the sheriff. The same could be said for aNNja as well. You always have to be careful, especially versus Guild, but we walked into a little bit of a trap there. Obviously, a lot of that damage came from decay. Roxy threading the needle, but I don't think she'll win this battle anymore. Ritha putting her in the grave. And the thing is, they've invested a bit of an odd buy, if anything. You've got heavy rifles, still having an SMG, and then even having a pistol in there as well. So I guess they can afford to lose one player, but basically trying to keep this as safe as ever, probably knowing what they're up against, and well, you've just witnessed a small part of it.
You would question whether you even want to use the wall. Extra credits put into a round that seems lost already.
30 seconds left.
2 rifles, a bulldog, and a spectre.
1 enemy remaining.
Too easy you'd imagine. Good shot from aNNja. At this point, it's already costly. But that's where it'll end.
Yeah, will Proxima actually be able to retrieve one of the rifles? That's the main thing. Because if not, yeah, actually that's one gone. So that sort of back and forth in the early stages of the last map, and then just a streak of rounds where they decimated River. I don't know if she actually bought shields into this round, but if she did, they're gone.
Yeah, I didn't catch it either.
Parts destroyed.
And Proxima dealt with right off the bat. Well, hello.
Auf Wiedersehen.
River's lost all those shields now, all the health as well. As we go 3v5, and it looks like they're starting to stack up towards A. They were starting to drift that way. Spotting one cross and the wall go up. Shots from behind it, though. I've realized this is B. And there's a couple of players here. This isn't a walk in the park for Guild anymore. Getting onto this side. Whoops. That's a tough task.
Standing ahead. Right here.
Yeah, plant in. I don't think there's any chance to deny it. Wall not broken, and again, it comes down to what cost they can cause already. Sephia has managed to find one. Now, Gia and Ritha are both desperately low, but they'll be able to get one back to full health, and it's not going to be Ritha, I can tell you that for free. And well, I guess it's not really going to be Gia either, both of them balling. Now Sephia left alone. A nice breeze fire. Again, something, but you have to bear in mind they had 3 rifles into that, so could have done.
There's a couple places you can use it. We're not talking about having a breach on either team right now. You don't have any easy counters necessarily, and a lot of the time you'll just find that Sova isn't in the right place at the right time. I think most counters on this map tend to just be bullets. That's the counter needed for this. Look at this extra setup. Sephia tucked in the corner. Undetected, unexpected, but only good for one.
Proxima trying to delay any further push, but again, this lurk out from Roxy has managed to keep them deep A control. This side of the map still firmly within their favor. The peeking from Gia, well, I think maybe the poison orb going up will give her the idea that someone's at least faking out the idea of a cross, especially with their teammates now clearing deep B. The penny should drop fairly soon that this is going to be an A hit. The problem is, I think by the time they actually get that rotation, Guild will be fully within the sight.
Yeah, look how far behind it is. The element of surprise fades away completely. And even if they do get past this first trap, you've still got to go past the alarm bot. That's, well, technically it's deactivated right now, so that gives a chance. Oh, wow. Hey, there's a bullet counter. No fancy abilities, just shoot it. That's what it comes down to a lot of the time. Flank being watched for.
Shot down.
And okay, they deal with Smurfette, but now up against the clock.
Placing swarm grenade.
Great turret.
Placing swarm grenade.
Maybe we'll catch them on the way on the left.
Yeah, it's going to catch them as they go through. And then she actually activates the swarm, at least the initial one, and aNNja's going to peek off of it as well. 2-2. They almost have all 5 ults. The most they are away in terms of orbs is 2.
It's a very healthy farm.
Destroyed.
Kills spread evenly. More often than not. And these last players pose little to no threat.
Remaining.
They're going for the orbs.
Well, they'll be mad at Roxy for that little nano kill.
On that operator. Definitely known to be a difference maker, and it looks like she's going to go for a very aggressive play over onto the A site. Now, this has been challenged by Roxy in almost every single round. So they're expecting somebody to be there. They know the Proxima's close. Do they know this? She's pushed this aggressively, and while after the dart goes through, she's almost forced to give up. That control goes back. Knows that someone's taking the orb. She's going to get the first for free. The dart is fantastic as well, just giving so much information, but that early pick is enough. She's not going to risk anything more. The thing is, I think they actually took the orb on someone else. I bet they wish it was on aNNja now.
Swarm grenade out.
Oh, absolutely. And just fantastic discipline displayed by NAVI on the fallback afterwards. So easy to get greedy, to spray down that little bit more. I think if the recon lands a second earlier, maybe you even do. Proxima on yellow. She was seen jump spotting it. The recon's up. It's going to confirm exactly where she is. And good for 2.
Oh.
Roxy spinning on a dime for that second kill. And the ult online.
Grenade.
They'll get this plant for
30
free.
seconds left.
Just doesn't seem like she's stopping. Oh, Hunter's Fury actually thrown in. I don't know if this is an attempt to break that lockdown, because it's significantly lower than it would have caught anybody else.
Revealing area.
Welcome to
Roxy is going to fall for straight away the Viper's Pit, and this is the thing, the ult spam available, and aNNja dropping another, Sephia trying a hero play, but there's no death from above this time. And while Ritha has no choice but to save the operator, that first proper buy from NAVI doesn't really garner them anything. Okay, they baited out a couple of ults in terms of the lockdown and the res, and I guess the Viper's Pit too. But for Guild, that doesn't matter. You've just broken what was a huge purchase, and now they're hunting for that operator.
Doesn't look like the 7th round with an op and pistols. It's a bleak enough scenario. You know, the saving of the op. What has just happened on mid?
Sage killed.
I can only assume she got 145'd and then the turret killed her. That's my guess. If we can get a replay, I want to know if my detective work was correct.
It must be.
So if we have that, if it was anything else, then I am clueless. That's my only guess. That's the one guess I've got.
Yeah, it absolutely must have been. The turret just fires off. It must have been quick as well.
Yeah.
Eating the turret
She must have hit the shot as it, went for the burst. This operator's still in play. Oh, it's not going to be connected. That was the opportunity for them to get an opener. Now, with the plant coming through, these weaker weapons just they're so much more useless. You can't hold an angle. You can't wait for players to peek into you. Klaudia trying to get the information while they're even going to have to waste time breaking that wall, which is not going to be broken. It'll take even longer. Timmy doing some extra damage. He's done enough this round.
Placing swarm grenade.
And unless somebody makes a severe error, I don't think it's going to be happening.
Well, Claudia's down. The pistols doing something to start, but not to finish. The last one standing. The standing no more. Going to be carried forward. But you can't let them have this much leeway if it goes any further. And losing this buy round will certainly make it go further. NAVI would be down to an eco. All the credits invested, and ults are coming online, likely to be committed heavily in this round.
Straight through they go. Already into mid. It seems like the rotation's in, so they have an idea that it was coming in this direction, but it's whether or not they can do anything to deny it. Kitchen control taken, but a nice aggression Proxima. So going to get rid of Ness. They're going to have to plant in a spot where Viper screen isn't needed, but luckily going through mid, that is a possibility. It seems like they're having their doubts, though. Maybe wanting to try and clear out some kitchen control and go back in the other direction. It wouldn't be the norm in terms of strategy, but they'd actually have a free site.
Oh, almost a free kill. Look at the damage. 50 HP on Roxy Smurfette. Healing back up. Wow. That could have been something. NAVI, though, now walking back into this one, having to retake the site. More damage done. Smurfette's health down to 7 after that repeat. What a swing from River. Luckily, the trade is there, but still, NAVI have such a significant lead. And the 7 health Smurfette is the last alive. Oh, I wouldn't want to see that if it was 150 health. That could have been something.
Yeah, no, or maybe if she'd pulled off the Yumpy switch. We've seen that many a time, but no, it isn't going to be happening. I don't mind the adaptation from Guild, but just planting towards mid may have had more success, but easy to say that in hindsight.
This push, defenders going all the way through. River already found the opening, looking up above for more, but that's where it stops. Guild, answer back. Immediately shutting down NAVI's push. The A side is theirs. They're holding out on mid where Gia is lurking around, and that could have gotten awkward. But the advantage sits firmly in Guild's hands now.
It's a right place, but not the right time. Claudia's going to close her out instead. 6-3 and fight off against 2 different angles. Buy, not great. Tour de force already used a round or so ago, so it leaves them in a spot where you're basically just off that one rifle and the rest are pistols.
River, I mean, it's not the best weapon for it. With a rifle there, maybe the spam even comes through. It has come through for Gia, and then Rita River following up with more. NAVI come into this round. Couple of disadvantages on top of them, and well, they have got a 2 versus 4 spike down.
Last player
and
standing.
a beautiful setup there. All their bases covered.
Bot coming back.
Having a tour de force in the back pocket, but not wasting it for this round. And I think that might be because it's looking like a bit of a pace change here.
Poison's off.
Yeah, Guild moving towards this B side is red heavily. NAVI have full control, and the cross was watched. Now just tucked in on. A whole day with 1, mid with 1, and the rest focus on B. A setup here with Viper. Nano Swarm on the floor.
Poison's off.
But they're going to be pushed back. This lockdown coming into effect. Defensive side doesn't have a Hunter's Fury to deal with it. So an early snake bite goes down. They haven't stepped into it. So this Nano Swarm, not nearly as threatening as it would otherwise be. The wall's broken up in the meantime. Like, they've bought themselves a little bit of time. And you can see that's offset Guild. They can't really go for these pushes the way they want to. They can't go for the plant. And the kill they got reset instantly by the res.
Oh, they've even caught Smurfette trying to be a little bit cheeky as
30
well.
seconds left.
Desperately trying to find a way back through, and again, almost just hoping that there's a mistake. Smurfette actually going to pop the tour de force. They still have enough to buy into the next round, so I guess it's not too much of a detriment, but she needs to find something with it, otherwise a wasted ult, and there you go. 2 quick kills even. Somehow this round has just flipped in a second. The spray down from Gia is good though.
Not kill my ally.
But the res comes through instead. It's a costly round no matter what, but can she take the 1v3? It would have to be the 6k. And it gets less and less likely as the seconds go by. Timmy dealt with, but still 3 players left. And these guild players are not peeking. They're not taking any risk. It would be Ness to do the work. The tour de force, okay, it was committed as a risk, but...
Yeah, well, it is. Exactly. Final round. Look at the ultis. I mean, you're going to burn them up in this round, surely. 2 Viper's pits. But the threat of Gia being able to just... is always going to be there. That's where Klaudia comes in.
Oh, they're putting pressure on A site a little bit earlier this time. We've seen this as a lurk for the majority, but the rest of the team looking to try and set up, making sure that there's nobody in the nest and trying to make their way forward here. No lurk in play, just 1 trap, and it's not really going to cause too many issues. 2 players ready and waiting. A little bit of information gathered, but maybe not as much as they would have hoped for here. 40 seconds left, rotation coming through. In fact, it seems like NAVI have the read.
Welcome to my world.
They're here and they're ready. Even catching an angle through the wall. Viper's pit coming in, but maybe a little bit too late. The swing around the back's catching Proxima at least, and Sephia falling too. The numbers thinned out all of a sudden. They want to defend this spike. There's only 20 seconds left. The snake bite, though, catches River. No one can contest this any longer. But without Hunter's Fury...
Spike planted.
What? They just let him destroy it! I mean, this is terrible. Ritha's just walked in and... a little too late. Smurfette's already broken it. Ness gets to play this inside her pit. Still with a snake bite to work with as well. This could be terrible. Do they have a recon online soon? This is the one thing that could maybe help them out if they can fire that in. Section off one of the corners. There's a shock dart. Landed on nothing. Time so low. You can see she wants to snake bite, but they'll be on her the second she does. And instead, she's caught walking back through. There's the defuse. The 5th round for NAVI finally secured.
I think realizing that even...
I think they want to push B. You got 3 players there right at the start. They're setting up for a nasty little setup. Popping down an orb. And trying to take the orb themselves, I guess. But now, after that aggression on B, and they're seeing nothing, hearing a couple of steps and jumps around on A, the rotations are coming through. This comes down to is whether, and they are watching for this spawn push. There you go. It's peeked out. And there's a player in mid waiting for them. Smurfette falling victim to that setup. They have caught both of the flankers. Now the mid push comes in. They seem equally ready for this, though. Still 3 players here to fight. This is Guild maybe jumping the starting clock a little bit.
Yeah, now they have to try and get back through a million different traps. It was almost a collapse. Well, it was, but just didn't get the first kill. I think they're going to be feeling pretty comfortable going into the second half, especially now they got a pistol win.
4 players stacked up here on A.
They're dead.
3 players stacked up here on A. Guild wanting to force them into this fight. I mean, after that first player dies, second peek later is fine. They see Smurfette, though. They're going to be hightailing it to be. And there you go. You've seen that extra player. 2 here, at least, already after the kill. But, oh, Sephia's feeling brave. Wants to go rushing through. And they've just come to her. All right.
Yeah.
1 enemy remaining.
In fact, they're just going to be cleaning it up completely. 3 kills already. She knows that there might be another player here, and well, Proxima across the rope. Scoreline equalized again, 7-7. And now...
Well, let's see. Moving up immediately. Guild wants some aggression. aNNja stays forward. A slow down and, well, really making them pay for that map control with the clock at least. Smurfette's seen the elbow. She knows that Proxima's here. Waiting for the peak that has to come through eventually. It's whether they peek down below first or not. They're getting close to it. Those jiggle peaks seeing nothing on the backside. The next step up is to clear this corner. Smurfette knows, but timing's so crucial here. She just gives up the angle. It's the right play.
They found my trap.
Oh, that's not good to plan. Oh, neither is that. Smurfette's position known, and oh, she's just been shredded. They're dead. No chance. I think she got completely lost in the source. And there's even a lurk on the other side as well. Klaudia, though, putting up a damn good fight. Somehow coming out with 3. And actually, that leaves roxi with a real chance. It's not going to happen. If she gets that kill, the other too far away to trade. But Navi...
The line. Yeah, Gilder on the back foot. 8-7. Now on pistols. Navi should be able to steam into the lead right here and now. An attempt of a push down mid by Klaudia, you could see. Sheriff in hand, and the fight's going to come to her eventually. Gia, oh, managed to cross over. And that'll be them conceding the angle here with the push-up on B. Okay, never mind.
Placing alarm bot.
Oops.
Recalling my bot.
Again, they're just waiting for every single piece of aggression. Oh, it's not enough from aNNja. Finally, she'll get the job done. Just trying to get back to actually retrieve the gun on the other side. It will be a rifle into her hands. Bike was on the ground, but they've managed to retrieve it. She's healed herself up and blocked off a portion of the map. This should allow her teammates to gamble rotate over into B, but it seems like they're almost a little more wary of mid than anything else.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, I think they were expecting this to at least be a split with how they behaved earlier. Recon through. Good reveals. That's actually stopped the plant. With 20 seconds left, that's invaluable. Rita's gone down. Numbers now looking a little scary. Snake bite a little too deep. It's not caught on, and
Placing swamp grenade.
well, maybe it could have helped. But still, they'd have to take down these 3. Great position to play from if you're Ness. Body shot onto 2 of these players is going to take them down instantly. Actually, excuse me, all 3 of them.
Player standing. One enemy
aNNja
remaining.
now left up against Gia, just 80 HP. But the nano, it's almost taken aNNja out.
She's trying to bait her in, but it needs to be a kill almost instantly. And while the time, surely at this point, too far gone. A nice shot, but I don't think she's going to have this one.
Valiant attempt. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. NAVI practically no money. They're investing into their operator or their tour de force not online just yet. But most of the ults on that side of Guild are just about to come through.
Wow. One hell of a start. Player dead, even in towards the spawn, I believe, and then the other in an aggressive fight with aNNja. Not a bad way to kick off a round, and already Smurfette's looking for a little more. Tempted to be spotted out by the drone, and well, eventually tagged up. And roxi's just won another fight on the other side of the map, leaving it down to just 2. River facing off against Ritha. Try and bring this team back.
Scanning ahead.
35 on the clock, push up towards this A site. Recon on B.
30 seconds
This is
left.
convincing them that it's a B hit. That player might have left the A site, but he's still waiting on the other side. Ready to go. And with Ness falling, you know, Rita and River 15 seconds and the spike having to blitz onto the site, it had to be secure already.
10 seconds left.
Yeah,
Last
Roxy just
player
waiting for
standing.
a turret to take contact, and Ritha left with no time. And financially, it's definitely a good decision for her to bring this gun into the next round. Should still have a buy, although it's being hunted for. Roxy's not going to win that battle, and I don't think Guild can realistically throw too much more away, though. Are they going to try and challenge mid? This is where Smurfette was in the previous round. They expect her, but dealing with her is a completely different ballgame. However, I guess that was a sacrifice they were willing to make with the res on their side.
Yeah, they brought those numbers back even. Get another shot at it and some pressure on A. Knowing that, you know, probably those rotates have come towards middle. That's where they'll try to be reinforced, or trying to be reinforcing. You destroy that utility. They're looking back towards the A site. Now you pressure B. Fair enough. It's a normal strategy.
Teleport's ready.
But this is one Guild are very much set up for, with aNNja still being in position. Smurfette waving her arms around, making some noise, but that's all it amounts to. You know, maybe she can find a killer too. Hell, it's an op, but she wants to draw their attention. That's the main thing. That recon's gone out, gone up, and aNNja
Spike
caught
down,
by it.
B.
Smurfette still sticking around. No bullets left in the operator, so it has to go to the headhunter for now, just trying to catch players off, stuck
30
in that
seconds left.
lockdown, and eventually will go down with it.
My world.
Little corner to hide in for the remaining
Spike
players, as they will now start to look for this Viper within the pit. Proxima, though, hiding right deep within it. They've also got
Toxins going up.
here just looking to wrap round late, get in behind them, but a lockdown of their own is something that needs to be destroyed, and instead they've actually lost the Viper. Now it becomes pretty awkward indeed. They should just be able to start this diffusal halfway already gone, and there needs to be a plan here. No, it seems like they've just given it up, realizing there's no way back into things. Guild again with the
Looks like the Bulldog is still going to be taken through as the backup.
You
9 to
want to
9,
play?
such an
Let's
important
play.
round. Navi, okay. For Navi, their back is against the wall. They lose this one, they fall behind. Guild get to run away with the lead. But Guild have at least still got some finances to fall back on. They also have a res. And well, they might need it. Smurfette has been dealt with in the early round. The trade is there for Klaudia, though.
at least keeps things even, and by the looks of it, Claudia, what? A scream just joined the server for a second. It took a ridiculous one tap, and unfortunately for them, ducked out of the round. Now there is a res available for aNNja, but both deaths are in the same spot. Not easy to achieve, but with players falling away, maybe she will get away with a res.
They're definitely thinking about it. I mean, the only downside is not having the wall. It's going to cast doubt in your mind whether it's even worth going for that swing. But once they're spotted by this utility on the way through,
left.
the wall's heard, the plant is heard. Now it's one pushing them back. 25 seconds, there's the res. They just look to go spawn, surely. Their own spawn. Move back in towards the A side. And oh, that's a shame. They came close to denying it. At least Roxy's going to be healed back up and they'll have another shot. The advantage now in Guild's corner. Converting it, well, a lot of it's going to rely on getting rid of Sephia. Nasty angle. She's actually going to get rid of herself. Backing off, repositioning, just using up her slow. Make it that much easier for her teammates to get the kills onto the diffuser. Speaking of which, it's underway, but there's denial of a snake bite down. They're trying to push her back, stop her from getting those extra lineups out, but they'd already fired off. That's not getting halfway either.
Poison's off.
This is an incredible attempt. Proxima needs to deny that defuse, though. She's got to go, and there's nowhere that she can find an angle. Oh, she put up such a good fight. But in the end, 10-9. Navi. I mean, they're out of a lot of their ultimates. Under Fury, all that's left. Same can be said for Guild, but on that defensive side, I'll be glad to face less utility, less those ultimates that can push them out of position, can ruin those setups. And you've got the same idea on this A site. denying them early. Did they shock dart out the side? Sorry, there's -1 shock darts on Ritha because the nano swarm is gone. That was on A default. That caught them for some damage. So I was going to say they had that nano down, and then obviously Viper's there as well. You can put the snake bite as they just did, and then the nano would bloom and massive damage. But I think they shock darted it to destroy it, conscious of what had happened before. And Hunter's Fury on its way, catching Ness. And they've got the site now for a plant. Really nicely handled by Navi.
Oh, well, they might not have it just yet. Roxy has other ideas. Already making this into an advantageous position. Gia desperately low on health. And again, they're going to try and go back into these after plants, but I think Rita's realized she has to make a play. Oh, it's not gone well. They know where she is, and she's going to get killed off by Smurfette. It's down to the 2 lineup Larrys, trying to get something done, but it's already halved. How can you expect Proxima from this position to close it out? There's so much more time that she needs to get rid of, and she needs some kills. She needs to get rid of some of the players, otherwise there is no hope here. And she's done so much damage again, but they're already on that diffusal. There's nothing she could do once more but sit and watch as the diffusal comes through. Guild again managed to retake that A site.
At 11-9 now, Navi. They put it all on the line once more. Of course, they're not going to lie down and just concede around, try to fight for the next. Instead, they want to make a stop here, keep it possible in regulation. The thing is, like I said, they don't have those ultimates. They don't have their tour de force to fall back on, anything like that. The Guardian for Ritha is the best that they're going to get. It's now or never for the Navi side. They have been struggling so far, and, well, the light shields on half the team won't help.
Defenders are going walkabouts. They're not particularly far of actually finding the spike, which would be nightmare fuel for Navi, but it's whether or not they actually go much further. The bigger worry is if somebody comes back to try and claim that spike, they not only have the first problem of having to face off against Smurfette, they could also run into Klaudia, but luckily Rita's going to be the one to go back for it. Still, though, there's a threat of that rotation being an issue. Smurfette just ready and waiting on the angle. It's expected. And actually, the attackers are now walking in towards that B site anyway.
I mean, if these players in mid go down, though, they got to be ready for Klaudia as well, and they're not. That's a little whiffy. And River, surviving those first few shots, lives on to the 3v3. The advantage, not sitting with Guild. And Ritha, where does she go from here? She's going to stay aggressive. This is crazy. She's open to 3 angles. Got to make a move towards 1. Nice attempt, but Ness finding the first before being shut down. It looks like this round might just be done. aNNja, she's going to force them into the open, but how much more can she do? Oh, what a shot! There's a serious chance. It's halfway. Proxima comes through to ruin it. Oh.
A shotgun potentially, boy? No, aNNja's going to decide against it. But it's back to pistols for Guild, so a chance again for this to go level.
And they've dealt with Smurfette, one of the bigger threats that they're going to face. No longer in play. Roxy down below, though, returns the favor. Chamber for chamber. All those steps are heard. And loud as can be. They know the A side is mostly open, and now they've taken Klaudia. That's going to drag everybody to mid.
Toxins going up.
Trying to remove a player or two. Well, they might just do it. Ness is going to be able to drop one. And retrieving any of the weapons seems like an impossibility. And they're being guarded heavily by Ritha. I don't know if they'll even expect the second player to be here, but it seems like they're not even going to bother going for the weapons. Now, if both players die, they'll actually get their ults, as long as they don't die to the spike, which probably going to be worthwhile. Ritha now making their move in towards that flank, and it should be as free as it can be. Should have a rough idea of where aNNja is at this point, although maybe still expecting her to be a little bit further around that corner. There's still a chance that she gets a kill out of this.
Well, that ain't gonna happen. 11-11. We are tied up yet again. We're going to be playing both, whether we go to an OT or whether it ends here. In either team's favor, we shall see.
A hell of a lot of ults in this round. None of them being used straight away, though. No Viper's Pit put out from Ness. Planning to potentially use it a bit more reactively. They've had a lot of retakes on this A site, so I can't really blame her for that. Klaudia, she's going to try and take this battle, but not seeing anyone might actually start pulling a rotation back in the other direction. The drone, I don't know if it will reach in time. It might have done. They'll see a player a bit further along, and Smurfette instead takes down Gia, and happy with her victory will fade away.
There's no reason for Guild to make a move right now. I think they realized that on NAVI. I'm not sure if River sent out as a distraction here or a lurk. Either way, she'll be losing her life. B-side push spotted the spike on the floor. The player's trapped underneath and the snake bite's on its way. A classic in hand, knowing how much damage it can do, but only if it hits. Ritha will go down eventually. Still an opportunity, but look at the HP on Proxima. Look at the time that she's facing. I think we're going to be hitting 12-11 and Guild guaranteeing themselves with that an overtime at worst.
That's going to be the plan. If they can get to that point, well, it could be pretty tough for a breakback here from Guild.
Well, the lockdown's in play. The Viper's Pit just about to go down. And it's from up top. Hunter's Fury desperately searching him out, finding the Sage, finding the kill. Sephia gone spike down. And the plant, well, coming in just a second later, the shock darts can't even make it. There's a lockdown on the other side. And this is where the problems could come through. Hunter's Fury, though, going to be burned up just to get rid of that threat. Do a bit of damage as well. This is going to be pure chaos inside the pit, but NAVI, they're running out of numbers, running out of players to defend this spike, running around and finding kills, but the reality is that defuse could be coming in any second now. Proxima, 1 HP on both of her opposition. A snake bite goes through, it doesn't land. She's creeping up close. A shorty in the hands of Ness, looking for this player, finding her, but the snake bite's got her. With the HP of Klaudia, she's got to wait a moment. Biding her time, and that might just be time enough. Yes, it is. 12-12. NAVI have done it, and Proxima taking revenge for some of those post plants that had come before.
OT, a chance for NAVI to survive in this game, and Guild, they got to fight back from level again.
It's been so incredibly close all the way through. Well-deserved OT, but one that NAVI may just have let slip. River falling immediately. Sephia. It's a nice little angle. Once they don't break this whole wall, the piece in front of her goes down. She could be in trouble now that there's no Viper wall to conceal her. Basically trapped in the open, relying on this play working. Shock dart in. Nano caught her. She's pushed out into the corner. Still gets one. Fair play. But Guild have the advantage still with that trade. 4 versus 3.
And they're actually going to move back off of this. Orb taken to get that Hunter's Fury ever closer. If the plant goes in favor of Klaudia, that will be in play. Gia now knowing there's a good chance that they're rotating back. Even clearing out some of the positions on mid. Just trying to sell this as a fake. Trying to move players off of this A side, but they're not budging. NAVI have taken the decision to risk it for a biscuit, and they have got it spot on. Ritha starting to push up. She gets the timing right, but she doesn't.
Standing ahead.
As she falls, the wall is going to give away Proxima's position along with the dart, and there's nothing they can do to stop this.
The clock now in Guild's favor as it ticks away. They need some picks on the side of NAVI, and they need to go quick as well. Ness is on her way behind. The quickness that she applies could end the round if it's not already over. Gia running through is traded instantly. And a 13th is put on the board. Again, Guild find themselves on map and series point. NAVI.
Knowing that there's one LAN, 2 spots, one of them already filled, and the other hangs in the balance if you can win this tournament.
Here.
And for Guild, knowing that spot is yours if you get one more round. Pressure definitely arising. The fact is, though, Guild have been here many times before. And with this 5, it's somewhat of a new experience for NAVI.
Flights to Berlin on the line. The A site hold. Well, there's actually 4 players. 3 here, 1 in mid. Flank's going to be watched for, even by the alarm bot as well. Oh, the fight in mid actually ensuing. Roxy has that alarm bot, so there's no need to fight it. There's a want there. That much is clear.
Clock running low here for NAVI. Been taking strats from the main team, it seems. And what? Trying to maneuver their way in towards this site. Even going to be slowed down a little bit on the way back through. Plant is going to come through. Doesn't seem like there's anything going to be available to deny it. The Nano Swarm not in the spot, and Sephia has already got themselves that opener. This is a good spot for them to be in here.
Yeah, great foothold. NAVI with the clock on their side. It looks like they might be sending Ritha out for a very late flank. Still being watched for, but by the time she gets there, it might not. Great kills for Sephia. The spray down, fantastic. aNNja trying to return it, but the flank now from Ritha. That could be what settles it all. Looks like she's going to fire at a recon, though. That'll give away the game. Still, Gia's here. Finding the kill over towards yellow. And at that point, the clock was already too far gone. Crazy, but looking at the map, it would be perfect. The setup from NAVI, 3 players on B at the start. We've seen this before, a little bit late. Sephia made the rotate, but she's here in time for the fight itself. Tucking into the corner. The very same corner we've seen her in before, but she's been revealed now. They know where she is. The wall up, they're breaking it, but that was just to get her to peek. Sephia down, dealt with, and the rest of her team, well, they're staying close. They want to fight. They want to make that duel worthwhile. Oh, that is an awkward fight with the snakebite right behind. There was no way out. Smurfette was dead.
This is the thing. It's a ruse. The rest of the players are now just walking their way back through. This battle has already been one part of the overall war, as they're going to have to try and potentially play a full retake here. And the thing is, with the site being fully cleared out,
Teleport's ready.
they're going to have so much information. River, though, is actually going to be handed a fight. It's not one that I think they'll take much longer from that, and the turret even going to give away once they're rotating. Wall will lock off so many positions, and they're going to go back to the more standardized after-plant positions. And the players they've lost, well, they're not the ones with the after-plant utility.
NAVI, 2 players hurt. This is huge information for Ness. She's trying to disengage off of it, get into a position where she can catch them off, avoid those recons, and have a teammate possibly to play the trade with. This is beautiful. Well played by Ness. Now in an annoying position to clear out, confirming the location of Proxima and leaving this to be another 1vx. Proxima's been so good in these. Mostly just close with no cigar. And, well, you're dead. She realized that this one wasn't going anywhere. 14-13.
From that point onwards. Now, though, it seems like we might get a similar battle, just the roles flipped.
Well, Guild, not very quick to rotate. They've got their Viper Orb, they've got their Snake Bites, and, well, that's about all they're using to defend this B side. A Snake Bite already burned up as well. To keep that anchorage towards this other side of the map. But this is now becoming clear that it's an A push. A spike being planted, more so than anything, giving that one away. Snakebite comes in late. They'd already moved away. You saw them just baiting out that utility. Oh, that was almost a headshot. I didn't even look intentional.
Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out.
Still getting themselves ever closer, but look at the rotation. Everybody's going to be here to try and deny them getting the plant. They've spotted that they're up close. They've spotted they're taking these aggressive fights. Oh, they've run out of ammo, though. Luckily, aNNja's there for the trade, but she's almost caught herself. Back and forth we go. aNNja going to try and wall herself up. Take an elevator position, but she might not realize there's actually one towards the spawn. Instead, she'll get the free kill onto Sephia. It's left to Gia, who's got herself the first, but down to just 22. It's her facing off against roxi. Roxy's turret will give away the game. She looks to get this at least a half, giving extra time. No, she's sticking it nearly all the way. It won't matter, though. Gia!
29. It has been a long day for NAVI, but they're not willing to give up just yet. They want another map, another chance to fight for that spot in Berlin. Get themselves all the way there. And the slow approach, once again. Both of these teams have been burning the clock a bit with some of these skirmishes. Seems to be pretty consistent from NAVI to send Sephia aggressive there. This thing, a little bit different. Push down in tube, it's perfect. That timing from Ritha, God tier.
Oh.
And that has given them the upper hand.
Last player standing.
Oh, they are just destroying them at this point. A second win found, and aNNja having to try on 1v5. Looking incredibly unlikely as Sephia will put her in the grave. A flawless defensive round. It's where both teams have
Advantage. Map point for NAVI. We finally get to say it. 3 players outside the B site. Coming up on 4. NAVI are really working that control, but Gia has been, well, obviously heard she's making noise, but she's won the fight as well. Phenomenal.
Oh, what a start. Re-aggression coming out from Klaudia. Trying to take back that control into Nest, but mainly due to her teammates having such deep positioning elsewhere. She's trying to just avoid it. That hasn't worked at all. Needs to even just try and get out of there. Being fought from multiple angles, and they're trying to put the pressure on. Teammates in the meantime starting to get a little bit more aggressive. The timing not looking great for aNNja. She's going to be caught. And now the rotation, the sprint back from Ness just to try and get into a spot where she can do anything. They need her to go big here. I don't know if it's going to happen. A nice first shot. The spike dropped, and that's the time bought at least. Hoping to get something on the spam, but it isn't going to happen. The plant will be coming through, even with Proxima going desperately low. And now with a Viper's Pit in play, this is looking set for NAVI.
That pit may just confirm it. Ness, though, hungry for the victory. Proxima's been hurt up close, and Ness is taking down her former teammates, dropping them like flies. Ritha caught with a bow and arrow out. It's all left on Gia. Another clutch needed, but the defuse, it's under her nose. Throwing in the nano, it's too late.
It's not going to do enough.
It's all the way through, and Gilberto going again. They will not let go of this map. Icebox goes on eternally. Round 30. I mean, spare a thought for NAVI playing this long. A lengthy day. They made it through the upper bracket all the way to the end, and this is what awaited them. One of the hardest days of gaming I'm sure they've ever faced, and it ain't getting any easier, but Rivers made it out with 2 HP. A successful kill, and, well, probably going to rotate for the heal for the first time ever. Sage's primary purpose in this round is going to be healing.
It's like, you're going to double down on this. Orb to be taken, but a sound cue not worth giving. Going to clear all of this space for free. Absolutely no one here. Klaudia's going to take that orb wall. Going to be utilized just to try and deny them on the way back through. And actually, it looks like aNNja's going to try and hold on to this, but I think Ritha might be aware. Hasn't seen anybody cross over. Ness is going to try and make a play, and while it's only going to be the 1-for-1, there needs to be another trade, and Smurfette grabs it. aNNja's caught one more from an advantageous positioning quickly dwindles, and aNNja's just taken over, leaving one remaining in the form of Gia again, and she has to try and clutch once more. The timing might work out for her, though. She's found Klaudia into the 1v1. Smurfette, the time ticking away. If she taps this again, it's surely over, and well, it might already be, knowing that that time has gone, and unfortunately for Gia, again, she tries her best, but her best just wasn't enough. 16-15, Guild in the driver's seat, but...
Now we go into round number 32. NAVI on the attack. As we said, this is where the success was found, but their last memory was a loss.
Take flight.
Early drone, but I mean, look at this stack on B. The utility going out might almost just make them stay, though. This could be very beneficial for the A push about to come through. It puts all the pressure on roxi.
She's been someone to thrive under it, especially today. Be a pretty big ask of her. Rotation is starting to come back from Klaudia. Seems like they might have had an idea, an inkling that it's going to be in this direction, especially with the shock darts. Utilities dissipating. Denying them is going to be tough, and I don't know if that's even an option at this stage, especially with Klaudia going down. It does rely on roxi completely, but she's avoided absolutely everything. 3 kills taken. The old Reliable has done her job perfectly, and now Proxima, River versus 3.
30 seconds left.
The heart's got to be beating faster than ever before. The spike still needs to be planted. They want some more space before that river going out, but there's 2 players watching the spike down, and so too are NAVI, down and out of this series, out of this tournament, as Guild X move